Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
Conference finals, aka the semifinals, for those of you who don't necessarily understand American sports. In the Eastern Conference, we got 4th seed Orlando City hosting the 7th seed Red Bull New York. I think the at least what to take away from that first leg from the quarterfinals is that both teams scored their goals and did what they needed to do to hold those leads. Whether it was a 2-goal lead for Red Bull New York against NYCFC, or was that 1-0 win for Orlando City SC. I think both teams are very formidable. I think both teams could easily get their chance at representing the Eastern Conference in the MLS Cup. But one of them can only go. It is in Orlando. I think home field advantage is going to be very crucial for them. Obviously, Orlando has all the vibes right now, especially now that the Orlando Pride won the NWSL Cup. So they want to go for the double over there in Orlando. Especially when the Pride won their first NWSL Cup. I'm sure Orlando City would love to also be able to go in and win their first MLS Cup. So I think that's there's a lot of pressure on Orlando. But you feel the determination for this team. I think that defensively have gotten better each game that I've watched them in. And I think once again, their attack is also really interesting with Enrique and Facundo Torres and Angulo. I think this team is really good. That's why everyone thought that this team would win an MLS Cup and why I was so brash about them winning an MLS Cup. I mean, I gotta say, with my bias, I have to pick Orlando. I think Orlando does have a really good team. I think Red Bull New York also have improved. I think defensively have gotten significantly better as well. Their attack is also very lethal. It's gonna come down to the finite details, and that is whose defense is better than the other. I trust Orlando's defense a little bit more than I do Red Bull New York's, and that's why I'm going with Orlando City to move on to the MLS Cup final. Also, the fact that I also predicted this team to win from before the season even started. So that's also the other reason why. All right, in the Western Conference, we've got 2nd seed Los Angeles Galaxy, the highest seed, taking on 4th seed Seattle Sounders. So if LA Galaxy wins this, the MLS Cup final will be in Carson, California. Now, I'm guessing if Seattle wins it, then Orlando would be hosting it. So in hindsight, Orlando would probably be, if Orlando does win their game, they would probably be rooting for Seattle Sounders to win the Western Conference matchup. But obviously, I don't think it's going to happen. I said it. I just don't think Seattle's that good. I don't necessarily watch them, and I haven't been impressed by anything that they did in the round 1 matchup against the Dynamo. And y'all can say that I'm being petty, but I even said Dynamo were terrible in that game too. But I would also argue that the Dynamo were the better team on the field than the Seattle Sounders. The only reason why the Dynamo lost was because of red cards. And you can argue for LAFC. I think LAFC was the better team on the field. It went down to an own goal that took them to extra time, and that's where Jordan Morris had his moment. So I don't think Seattle Sounders are that good, and you're going up against probably the most potent attack possible in the LA Galaxy, especially now where they're coming off of now. Ricky Puig has got these Greg Vanney and Ricky Puig has this team moving in the right direction, are firing on all cylinders. And while I do give props to Seattle's defense, the attacking is the only concern for me. Which, I mean, if you're an LA Galaxy fan, you probably are familiar with how wishy-washy can be the backline for the Galaxy. But even in, mind you, yes, they scored 6 goals, but they also gave up 2. And that's got to be at least somewhat concerning if you are like, I mean, I'm sure for the LAFC, their best to them, the best defense is a good offense, which it has clearly been working for them. But you want to be able to have some sort of shutdown performance defensively, and if you do in the Western Conference Final, I think kind of similar how people feel about Cruz Azul in Liga MX being the best offense and the best defense in the league. Going into the MLS Cup, if LA Galaxy can have a show out of brilliance in the attack, but also a lockdown performance defensively, you would say that LA Galaxy should, without a doubt, win the MLS Cup. I'm picking LA Galaxy to win it. I don't think Seattle Sounders are good. It's impressive that they got here somehow. I'm not mad. I'm impressed. But the Seattle Sounders are not a good team. The LA Galaxy are a good team. And I think that it's going to be very clear. And I mean, say what you want about LAFC. LAFC, yes, is also a good team, but there has been so much questions on this team. It hasn't been a very like solidified, oh, this team's good. It's always been this team is good with a question mark. Whereas the LA Galaxy, there has been no doubts about the LA Galaxy. And so that is my prediction. The final, if things go the way I want, the final is going to be Orlando City taking on the LA Galaxy, which don't think Orlando's going to win that MLS Cup. But hey, anything can happen. Or maybe Seattle can somehow find a way to win it, and Orlando gets to host the MLS Cup. So that we can see what happens there.